Hi guys, as Tesla gets closer to full driverless technology, and we will get into that, even I am shocked, but also one analyst from Seeking Alpha put out a report on NIO over the weekend. And I wanted to bring it to light to you guys of his opinion and based on what NIO is doing. So let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel, guys. The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual, guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. So this analyst said NIO stock has fallen 31% in the past 3 months due to intense competition in the EV space. But I believe nothing is over for NIO. Read on, he says. NIO delivered 50,045 EVs in 2023, surpassing goals. Let's not forget that. And expects a rebound in deliveries in 2024 based on many different things, including government subsidies and government backing. Having a robust cash balance of $7 billion, sufficient for future investments and scaling, not for share buybacks, NIO will prioritize gross profit margin for its brand products while focusing on volume for the mass market brand. I believe that the company has growth prospects and its direct cost should fall as the operations scale up and sales should increase once the firm start delivering new models. I think nothing is over for NIO despite the stock updating new lows. I reiterate my buy rating despite my first call aging badly so far. I am Oak of Investments, a quantitative research analyst. I run the investing group Beyond the Wall Investing. This is the guy, where I specialize in uncovering mispriced stocks based on proprietary Wall Street information. Very deep, you see. He's saying that based on misinformation by Wall Street, he puts out his, he does his own analysis, debunking them and showing where they are wrong. Unbelievable. It's called Beyond the Wall Investing. My thesis, he says, I initiated coverage of NIO in mid-January 2024, about 3 months ago, with a buy rating. In that time, the stock has fallen a whopping 31% based on shorting and trade wars and other factors, while the S&P 500 index has risen 9%. It seems like one of the major risks for the company actually played out during this time. The intense competition in the EV space pushed the company to adjust its sale guidance downward recently. Considering NIO's current lack of profitability, this kind of adjustment resulted in some adverse effects. On the bright side, this led to NIO stock becoming even cheaper. And speaking of innovation, I think the latest corporate happenings suggest that today might be a bargain. NIO is over for NIO. Nothing is over for NIO, guys, as many bears suggest. Let me explain. In fourth quarter 2023, NIO delivered 50,045 premium smart EVs, making a 25% increase year over year. 25%. On the flip side, Tesla continue to decrease in their sales. For the entire year of 2023, cumulative deliveries reached 160,038 units, surpassing NIO's initial goals by over 30% compared to 2022. Looking ahead to 2024, NIO management said they anticipate a rebound in deliveries with expectations of 32,000 units in the mid-range in first quarter 2024 alone, scheduled for delivery in first quarter 2025 with a price tag of $111,210. The new ET9 boasts advanced features such as NIO in-house developed 80 chip, saving on cost, and Skyride chassis system, which is the world's first integrated hydraulic fully active suspension that enables transient adjustment of stiffness, damping, and height, according to NIO. Additionally, the company plans to build 1,000 new battery swap stations and 20,000 chargers by the end of 2024, keeping them ahead of the game in even the charging field, further solidifying its position in the market. Remember, we spoke about that, guys, infrastructure. And I showed a video where the Biden administration now is admitting that they need to build up infrastructure. This is quite a long process, but I expect it to bear its first fruits early next year as its infrastructure keeps developing. The main reason for NIO stock decline are trade wars and other factors like shorting. If we look at the recent trend in NIO's deliveries and pay attention to the consolidated vehicle margin, we'll see an improvement from 6.8% last year to 11.9% in fourth quarter. But the absolute value of this metric is still much lower than it was in 2021. The recovery is going down slower than initially expected. As a result, NIO's growth is 6.5% year over year, and gross profits surged by an impressive 105.7% compared to fourth quarter 2022. So a lot of this is just, let me skip all this FUD. Operating costs of NIO reports today on a TTM basis based on my calculations. If NIO continues to expand its battery swap infrastructure in China, battery swap, remember we always spoke about that in this channel, guys, I think it will therefore have sufficient reserves for further scaling. So what he's saying is the amount of revenue that's going to come from battery swaps will help us to keep scaling, buy more factories, put out our sub-brands in a massive way. Remember I spoke about that in my last video, guys. Envoy is expected to put out over 100,000, Firefly over 100,000. I believe that swift charging of electric vehicles' batteries should address the limitations of charging infrastructure and increase the convenience of owning electric vehicles, especially for luxury car drivers who may not be used to waiting too long for charging. The assumption of mine is indirectly confirmed by the results of a recent study, in which analysts conclude that the global battery swapping mode of electric vehicles market, listen to this guys, the global battery swapping mode of electric vehicles market will grow from 2.45 billion in 2022 to 45.8 billion in 2030. Can you imagine the money we'll be making from battery swapping, guys? Unbelievable. At a remarkable CAGR of 44.2%. Roughly speaking, if a potential investor buys NIO now, he or she will be investing directly in the development of this market, whilst paying a premium for the existing technologies and the potential growth expected from the launch of sales of the company's new models early next year. Also, NIO plans to unveil its second brand of the mass market in second quarter of this year, with the first product launching in the third quarter and mass release starting in the fourth quarter. The management says they are targeting 200,000 total units for the full year of 2024. 200,000! Representing a 25% growth after all the initiatives and improvements. NIO will prioritize gross profit margins for its NIO brand products, while focusing on volume for the mass market brand. So I expect that the company's current margin decline to be a temporary phenomenon and that the negative market reaction is an opportunity to average down. So you guys can get this full report on Seeking Alpha. And I also wanted to touch on something that one of my subscribers, Money Making Melvin, talked about. And I have to give you guys this information. It seems like I was wrong perhaps about Tesla full service driving and how close they are to getting. But before we get to that, take a look at this clip, guys, and then we shall continue.
According to China EV Post, NIO's CEO, William Li, emphasized cooperation in a divided world during a speech at Harvard University. Li highlighted the challenges and barriers Chinese electric vehicles face in entering overseas markets. He stressed the importance of building connections and fostering understanding to overcome these divisions. Li also mentioned Tesla's success in China, noting that the U.S. electric vehicle maker sold over 1.36 million cars in China in the past 3 years, with the Model Y being the best-selling model last year. This success, Li pointed out, has helped make the Chinese market crucial to Tesla and has boosted electric vehicle penetration and energized the automotive industry in China. NIO, founded in 2014, has delivered nearly 500,000 premium electric vehicles since its first deliveries in 2018, capturing a 40% market share in China's premium battery electric vehicle segment. Li also announced plans to release 2 new brands targeting the mass market and entry-level market within the next year. You are listening to Yuan News.
All right, guys. So Elon said that recently they're going to unveil full driverless technology. They're going to reveal it. It won't be ready at the time of the unveiling, but let's see how close they are to that. This article is from Inside EVs. Full self-driving Teslas keep slamming into curbs. Owners trying out full service driving for the first time are finding damage after their cars kiss the curb while turning. Tesla's latest release of its full self-driving software has received a lot of positive reception from owners, but as the automaker released a month-long trial of full service driving to all vehicles in its fleet, capable of running it, other first-time drivers have been giving their opinions, and the software may not be shaping up to everyone's expectation. More specifically, cars are hitting curbs at a pretty alarming rate, or at least that's what it appears based on social media posts over the last few weeks. Posts have popped up on Reddit, X, and YouTube showing wheel and tire damage due to cars on full self-driving making contact with curbs after turning turns a little too closely. But don't get disheartened, guys. Let us continue with the article and see if there's a pot of gold in the end of the rainbow. So in March, Tesla granted owners a free 1-month trial of its full self-driving software. This move could help push more owners to purchase the $12,000 software or subscribe at $200 per month if they find it useful. Posters claiming to have installed Tesla full self-driving trial flocked to social media to post photos and videos of their cars jumping the curb. It seems like this story isn't getting better, but let's continue. While full self-driving was supposedly engaged, one user showed that summon, a feature that has long been criticized for striking stationary objects, is still problematic for striking stationary objects. In my 3 days of using it, it has convinced me that I do not need it, said one user on Reddit. I've had to intervene too many times to avoid the curb or a parked car on the street. One user who experienced a curb wheel shared a clip, so this was recorded, of their car clipping a sidewalk on Reddit. The video shows the car striking a curb mid-turn and a photo of a damaged protective wheel cover reportedly resulting from the impact. Another user on X tagged CEO. He tagged Elon Musk in a post showing a video of the car making contact with a curb and the damage to one of the car's wheels. In the post, they note that a replacement wheel is $870 and claim that Tesla would not replace it even with a video showing the curb strike occurring while full self-driving was enabled. You see, this is one of the things I was talking about when it comes to superior customer service and why we take so much time in releasing something so we don't have this type of problem. This is not the first time. It will not be the last time. This is due to horrible technology. Let's put it like that. Horrible technology. This is like Stone Age technology, guys. And in the past, people didn't have videos to prove it and stuff, so they weren't getting compensated. This guy has proof, and Elon still would not compensate him. Why won't Tesla replace my rim if your full service driving system is the one that caused it to run into the curb? I sent them 2 videos and a picture. It's funny y'all charge $2,000 for rims and then want $870 for a replacement, and he has a video on here. The solution, according to many onlookers online, is to follow Tesla's recommendation of supervising full self-driving as it drives. So it's not really full self-driving. But that irks some who believe that the juice of handling over steering and throttle inputs its worth, the squeeze that comes with the anxiety of babysitting every small low-speed turn. So you have to babysit every turn, even though it's supposed to be full self-driving. I've noticed myself that it gets dangerously close to curbs on turns, wrote another Reddit user. Mine was even hugging the right side of the lane and scraped some sticks sticking out of the bushes along the road. I know it's supervised and the driver should be in control at all times, then what's the point if I have to disengage at every turn? What many people don't realize about full self-driving or Tesla's autopilot in general is that it can take a good amount of user-applied torque to convince the car to relinquish control over to the driver. Wow. You see how dangerous this is, guys? And this man is touting that it's very close. But how can you do that when the proof is here? So even if a driver begins to recognize that the vehicle is turning slightly to the curb, the time it takes to react and regain control might not be enough to avoid the hop. Now imagine if that's a pedestrian. Unbelievable. Plus, let's be real, most people don't aim their mirrors at the curb. So a close call could be a nothing burger with a forceful disengagement or direct contact with the cement. It's not like curb hopping is a new problem either. It's been happening for other drivers for quite some time in older versions of Tesla's full self-driving software. Perhaps it's gotten more problematic recently, or maybe it's just becoming more apparent given the number of drivers who are taking advantage of the full self-driving trial. So that's something to bear in mind. It wasn't this problematic because not too many people were signing up for this, but now because they get a free trial, like they're trying to take a playbook out of NIO with a free trial with the battery swapping to see if people would like it. Well, what happened for us is over 41 million swaps later, it shows that people did like it. But with this full self-driving, it doesn't seem to be such full self-driving, does it, dear lads? So let's see if it will catch on, but obviously this man is lying again, and they are nowhere near full self-driving, nowhere near it. And he's just came out to say that to try to keep the stock up because he knows it will continue to tank in a bad way this year, guys. Get out of Tesla while you can. I hope you guys found this video to be informational, inspirational, and motivational on a Tuesday morning. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up before you leave. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we're waking up the middle class to get a piece of the pie. And like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.